Hey y'all, it's Greg from the Binge List, where we make recommendations for TV shows and movies that you can actually watch from the comfort of your own home. And next time you do get some free time, you can sit down and enjoy it with a great movie or a TV show. So sit back. We're going to go through 11 or the first 11 of 60 movies that are going to be on Amazon Prime that are outstanding that you can actually add to your watch list today. So stop mindlessly scrolling, stop turning things off halfway through it, and hang out with us in that same amount of time. We'll go through all 11 recommendations for you. And I know there's something on here because we've got a couple different genres to pick from. So let's start off with number one.
Fears. Oblivion.
First on our list is a bit of a doozy. This one's going to hit you right in the feels right from the get-go. That's The Fault in Our Stars. This is an uplifting and heartbreaking movie all wrapped into one. It's a romantic drama film based on John Green's novel of the same name, and it's directed by Josh Boone. The story starts with Hazel, played by Shailene Woodley, and Augustus, played by Ansel Elgort, who meet at a cancer support group and quickly bond over their shared experiences. They start dating and they fall in love. Their relationship is extremely complicated by their illnesses. Despite the tragic undertones of this film, it's beautiful, it's moving, it's a film about love and loss. The key thing that I like to take from it is the importance of living life by the fullest. The Fault of Our Stars is a must-watch for anybody who loves a good romantic drama. It's well made, but the film's strong performances by its leads alone make it worth the watch. It's extremely emotional. It's certainly going to stay with you a long time after you've watched it.
Gosh, you don't have to turn them into the Lakers. They just need to feel like a team.
Move on to a heartwarming and inspirational movie about a basketball coach who learns the true meaning of teamwork and sportsmanship. This movie is Champions. It's starring Woody Harrelson as Marcus Marikovich. We follow Harrelson's character, a hot-tempered but skilled assistant coach for a minor league basketball team. Marcus is fired after getting into a fight on the court, and through a series of bad decisions, he ends up being ordered by a different type of court to complete 90 days of community service coaching a team of players with intellectual disabilities. At first, Marcus is reluctant to coach this team. He doesn't know anything about coaching people with intellectual disabilities, and he's not sure if he can even handle it. However, he quickly comes to realize that these players are just as passionate about basketball as he is, and they're just as capable of winning. Marcus begins to train this team. He quickly develops a close bond with a lot of the players on their pursuit of the championship. Champions is a must-watch for anybody who loves a feel-good sports movie. It is an inspirational film. Woody Harrelson does an amazing job as the lead role. He's perfectly cast as this reluctant coach who navigates this journey on just a downright good film. On to something with a little bit more action. Let's talk about Beast. This is a thrilling new movie starring Idris Elba. Beast is a 2022 heart-pounding survival story about a family fighting to survive against a deadly predator, starring Elba as the lead member, Dr. Nate Daniels, recently widowed husband and father who returns to South Africa where he first met his wife. This is on a long-planned trip with their daughters to a game reserve managed by Martin Battles, played by Sharlto Copley, an old family friend of his and a wildlife biologist. But what begins as a journey of healing turns into a fearsome fight for survival when a lion, a survivor on his own right of a bloody poacher's attack, who now sees all humans as enemies, begins stalking them. Nate and his daughters are out on safari in South Africa when they encounter this rogue lion who's been terrorizing the area. The lion is determined to kill them, and Nate must use all of his skills to protect the family. The film explores the importance of family and the bonds that they can be formed even in the most difficult of circumstances, like the one that they're put in throughout this movie. Beast is a must-watch for the action thriller fans. It is a well-made film with stunning visuals, edge-of-your-seat suspense. Highly recommend checking this one out with a strong lead from Elba. It's one of the best survival thrillers that I can think of that came out in recent memory.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Next, we're diving into one of the ultimate throwback classics that's near and dear to many, and that's 10 Things I Hate About You. If you're like me, you grew up on those iconic teen rom-coms, this is an absolute gem. Certainly a trip down memory lane for most of us. This 1999 American teen romantic comedy is a loose, modern adaptation of the Shakespeare play The Taming of the Shrew. Set in Seattle, Julia Stiles stars as Kat Stratford, this super smart and headstrong teen who's, let's say, not so keen on the whole dating scene, but who comes in and changes that? None other than the late, great Heath Ledger as the mysterious bad boy, Patrick Verona. As these things go, he falls for Kate, and surprise, surprise, she starts feeling something for him too. It's a roller coaster of emotions. Now, what makes 10 Things I Hate About You such a winner is it's not just a romance, it's a tale of embracing differences, growing up, and it's all woven into this high school love story. The cast, the humor, the dialogue, it's a mix that just hits the sweet spot. Funny, witty, and oh so quotable throughout the movie. It's no wonder that this film has held up through the test of time and has a special place in most of our hearts. If you're on the hunt for a heartwarming and downright funny movie night, 10 Things I Hate About You is an absolute must watch. Trust me, it's a classic for a reason, and it's easily one of the best teen rom-coms ever made.
Bet you wish you had it to do all over again.
You got that right.
Ever thought about hitting the reset button on life? Well, strap in, because that's exactly what we're going to do when we dive into 17 Again, where we meet the adult version of Mike O'Donnell, played by Matthew Perry. He's not exactly doing cartwheels in life. This guy has got the whole shebang: a marriage on the rocks, a job that's not that exciting, probably about as exciting as watching paint dry, and a general vibe that says, I wish I could do it all over again. Then bam, cue the magical fountain, some mystical mojo, and ta-da, Mike wakes up as his 17-year-old self. 17-year-old self is played by Zac Efron. And I mean, if I woke up looking like Zac Efron, I'd probably think I hit the jackpot too, but that's just me. He decides, hey, let's hit the rewind on life, enrolls back in high school, and with the help of his best friend Ned as his fake over-the-top father, he aims to fix the things that he messed up along the way. But it's not just about correcting those wrongs, it's also about learning some pretty cool life lessons. There's some awkward moments with his current kids, because he's now their same age, kind of toting that line between friend that he makes with them and parent, in which he actually is. But for all you comedy lovers and anyone with a soft spot for heartwarming movies, 17 Again is awesome. It's a great cast, it's witty humor, and it's not just comedy, it's got some seriously heartwarming moments. It's all about second chances, plus a warm nudge to remind us to not take the things that we have for granted. Trust me, it's that awe factor pretty much dialed up to 11 in a lot of times. I've watched this movie many, many times myself, so if you're in for some laughs, a few awe moments like I mentioned, and a dash of inspiration, 17 Again on Amazon Prime is calling your name. Trust me, it's a feel-good journey worth every second. Hey everybody, if you're liking the recommendation so far, please take a minute to like, comment, subscribe, or even share this out so we can get our recommendations out to others who are struggling with this same issue. But back to the content, we'll check out the back half of this list. This one is a high-octane ride of emotions and action, and that's the story of the Machine Gun Preacher. The story is based on the real-life story of Gerard Butler's character in this movie, who is not your regular action hero, but is Sam Childers, former drug dealer turned missionary in war-torn Sudan. This film isn't your run-of-the-mill story. Sam's out there trying to make a difference amongst the chaos, and boy, does he leave an impact in this movie. He's all about the good old faith and redemption, this kind that sneaks up on you in the most unexpected places. From his sketchy past to become a missionary, it's a reminder that change is always in the cards, no matter where you've been in your life. But hold on, it's not all rainbows and unicorns. This film's got layers. Digging into the gritty stuff, we're talking about yin and yang between violence and peace. Sam, aka the Machine Gun Preacher, is also known to protect the innocent in any way that he can. He's also about love and forgiveness, but he'll lay it down whenever he needs to. And yeah, it's complex, and that's what makes it so real, right? And at its core, it's a tale of the human spirit, about a guy who is willing to go out there and put it on the line for others. Now, if you're into films that pack a punch like this, not just emotionally, but visually too, you're in for a treat. This movie does have stunning scenes, great action. It makes you debate between internally between right, wrong, and everything in the middle. If you're craving something powerful, thought-provoking, and just downright good, Machine Gun Preacher is perfect for you. It's got stellar cast led by Gerard Butler with Michelle Monaghan and Michael Shannon, plus an intense story, visuals that'll pull you in for the whole ride. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this one. If you're looking for a movie that's a testament to the power of love and family, then look no further than If I Stay. Chloe Grace Moretz plays the lead as Mia Hall, a seriously talented cellist facing the ultimate choose-your-own-adventure moment after a car crash lands her in a coma. And no, it's not your run-of-the-mill drama. Mia is in a coma, but she's fully tuned into everything that's going on around her. She sees the people that she loves all torn up from her situation, and the kicker is she gets to make the life-altering decision to either stick around or to take off. Enter in her boyfriend, Adam, played by Jamie Blackley. This guy is on a mission to bring Mia back to the land of the living. He's very much a believer in the love conquering all. jamming out to her favorite music, sharing memories in hopes of shaking her awake. And you can't forget about her family. They're pulling out all the stops, rallying for Mia's recovery as well. This movie is a letter to, well, love and family. Mia's strength to pull through, it's all about the love she has for those people around her. It speaks a lot to her own decisions. It's a crash course on choice. Mia's got the power to steer her own course throughout this movie and weighing the odds of those tough decisions. What's worth fighting for, how precious life is, and how it can be gone in the click of a finger. For all of you romantics out there hungry for a movie that's not your basic romance drama, but also heart-wrenching and beautifully made, If I Stay is your ticket 100%. The cast nails it. It's visually stunning. The story pulls on all of the heartstrings. And if this is the movie for you, be prepared because it does leave an impact.
You were gone for less than an hour. You were right here. You didn't...
You don't understand. It's been years. I've been in there for years.
Digging into a movie that will have you questioning the very fabric of life with The Lazarus Effect. This is a movie that's by no means Oscar worthy, but the concept is extremely intriguing and keeps you engaged. A modern day take on a very old story we're all probably very familiar with, but this movie, it's about a group of medical students led by Mark Duplass, and his fiancée Zoe, played by Olivia Wilde, cook up a serum that brings the dead back to life. Yeah, you heard that right. They're playing Frankenstein, but instead of bolts in the neck and creepy old castles, they've got a medical serum. So they test it out on a dog at first, and it works like a charm. But when Zoe is killed throughout the movie, they try it out on her. Things nosedive pretty quickly from there in a very chilling fashion. She comes back to life for sure, but not exactly as expected. Supernatural upgrades and a seriously bad attitude, which cues the mayhem for this movie. This movie is not just jump scares and monsters. It does bring more of a chilling vibe as it dives deep, asking us big questions about the ethics of messing with the natural order of things, playing around with life and death. What kind of Pandora's box are they opening here? And speaking of life and death, get ready for a mind bender. It's all about the afterlife and what really happens when we do punch that ticket and heading to a cosmic party, or we chilling in the eternal quiet. It definitely gets you thinking and definitely sparks conversation following this movie. But it's not all doom and gloom. The movie's got love and forgiveness, which happens to be the secret sauce that might just save the day throughout this movie. Amidst all the craziness, these guys do find a way to battle it out with some good old-fashioned love and redemption. For a thriller fan out there itching for a supernatural ride, this is a must-watch. It's a killer cast. It's got a fun story, and the concept will keep you engaged and on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Anything about a girl. This is gonna sound really strange. I was wondering, are you experiencing any kind of temporal anomaly?
This one here, the map of tiny perfect things. It's got charm, it's got heart, it's a whole lot of time loop shenanigans throughout this one. So Catherine Newton as Margaret, Kyle Allen as Mark. They're trapped in a time loop in this one, living the same day on repeat. Similar to Groundhog's Day or Happy Death Day, but without all the death or groundhogs in this one. At first, Mark's all about it. He's living the dream in this loop, acting classes, bossing video games, you name it, but even good things get old in an endless amount of doses, and he starts feeling like a bird in a cage, kind of trapped. And on the flip side, Margaret, straight up terrified at first, trying everything to escape this never-ending day situation, but plot twist, she flips the script and decides to roll with it. And that's where the magic happens. They team up together, they spend time together, and surprise, surprise, love blooms in the most unexpected places. Along the way, they start mapping out all the little moments that make each day perfect, even if it's on repeat. Now, this film's not just a reel of cute moments. It's packed with some real themes, those life lessons that hit you. First off, it's all about soaking in those tiny moments, even if they're seeming small. Plus, it's a gentle reminder to live in the now, because that's where the magic is. And of course, love is in the air. It's a heartwarming love story that unfolds throughout the loop craziness, and you can't help but root for these two. It's featuring stunning visuals, talented actors, endearing characters, a really awesome indie music vibe throughout this movie. This is a perfect ticket for a chill, laid-back watch. If you're seeking a sweet and utterly innocent experience, you're in for a treat. It's a delightful escape, where relaxation meets cinematic charm, promising you for a generally enjoyable time.
I thought we'd have so much more time.
It's time to talk about a silly and sentimental gem. This is definitely a classic to me, and something that I grew up on, and that's John Tucker Must Die. I probably watched this numerous times growing up in my high school years, but you've got Jesse Metcalfe, king of this fictional high school, John Tucker, the smooth operator who's juggling not one, not two, but three different girlfriends at a time, And here's the kicker. They all find out and they end up teaming up to take this guy down. It's like a high school Avengers assembling. You've got Heather, the cheerleader, Carrie, the brainiac, and Beth, the activist, played by Ashanti, Ariel Kebbel, and Sophia Bush. Not quite the Avengers, but this dream team is on a mission, and that squad has a secret weapon. Enter Kate, played by Brittany Murphy, who is kind of the lead adjacent Jesse Metcalf in this movie. But she's not really in it for the guy. She's just helping these girls get back at John, and feeling included as part of this group. So they hatch a plan, make John fall in love with Kate, and then bam, break his heart. A little bumpy at first. Kate's not totally on board, but it's all in the name of justice, so she does play along with everything that they ask her to do. And as many of these movies do, things get flipped on its head, and, well, because of love. The movie has a lot of cool messaging, in my opinion. These beautiful girls not playing the victim. They're taking charge throughout the movie. Massive lesson in self-love and realizing that you are awesome the way that you are. So, all you rom-com enthusiasts, John Tucker Die is a good watch. It will make you laugh, cry, fist bump in the air. This one's definitely for you. It's a stellar cast. It's hilarious. It's heartwarming storyline. It's got a lot of cool quotes and a crazy good soundtrack. Absolute gold. I still have this on my playlist today. Again, not Oscar winning or making you think a ton during this movie, but it's a feel-good movie that'll leave you smiling ear to ear at the end.
John Tucker must die.
If you think that Seth Rogen's humor is as hilarious as I do, or thinks Charlize Theron is as amazing of an actress as I do, this will probably hit the spot, because it's got both on full display. This movie is long shot. It stars Seth Rogen as Fred, a struggling journalist, Charlize Theron as Charlotte, big-time U.S. politician, and Fred's grounding as a freelance writer at the beginning of this movie, barely making ends meet, but he catches wind that Charlotte's vying for the presidential seat. In a very Rogen fashion, he's like, hey, let's reconnect, and bam, he talks his way into becoming her speechwriter. This only really works because these two have a weird history where she used to be his babysitter and his childhood crush, but life took them in totally different paths. As they team up, crafting speeches and navigating the craziness of politics, sparks fly. The classic tale of opposites attract, but it's not all rainbows and butterflies in this movie. There's different worlds, and Charlotte's political ambitions throw some serious wrenches in this love affair. With Seth Rogen as the lead, obviously, humor is a huge part of this movie, but it's surprisingly a serious story. It's about the real stuff, the nitty-gritty of social classes. Fred's your average Joe, while Charlotte's the tippy top of the social ladder, and let me tell you, that complicates things quite a bit. Navigating society's expectations and their personal feelings sends you on quite the journey in this movie. But this romantic comedy, it's smart, it's refreshing. Don't forget to hold on to your heartstrings, though, because the film's testament to one powerful thing: love conquers all. Has very cute moments throughout the movie. Despite the odds, the difference is the whole political gig. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling and great comedy that leaves you smiling long after the credits are done. If that sounds like something that you're into, enjoying laughs and maybe shedding a tear or two, definitely go with The Long Shot.
Force you to be the next president of the United States.
Oh my God.
You've been a great secretary.
A state.
Which state again?
All of them?
All right, guys, so that's going to end this list here for today. And that's the first 11 of this list of 60 that we're going to be releasing in separate videos as we go along. Make sure to hit the notification bell. Check them out as they are released. If you'd like one of these recommendations, add it to your watch list today and check it out. Let us know what you think in the comments below. But we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.